Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's MacklinGaming, and we are approaching an excellent time of the year. It is almost spring break, which means March Madness and the end of winter here in the Midwest, except when I look outside, there's snow on the ground. I think it snowed last night here. It's like late March. Come on now. I'm done with this. I'm done with the snow. Let's get out of here. I'm going to Florida for spring break for a week. So after this video, I'll probably have like a week off of videos. I'll put in some shorts, but no long form videos for the next like week. But before I leave today, two massive video games dropped. One was delayed a couple of times and had some real like controversy around its choosing of the main character and all this nonsense online people are arguing about before the game ever comes out, and it gets delayed. People are like, oh, this game's gonna be trash, and it came out today. The early access has already been reviewed and it actually looks good. That is Assassin's Creed Shadows. And the other game that I have to choose between today is a remake from a game that was, I think, kind of overlooked. It's definitely not as mainstream as Assassin's Creed, but it's an RPG, sci-fi RPG, which I'm super excited about because I love sci-fi and RPGs. And that RPG is Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's a remake of a Wii U game, which came out 10 years ago, if you can believe it. 2015 was 10 years ago, and I did not buy a Wii U. I skipped the Wii U era. So let me know in the comments if you guys had a Wii U, because I don't think a lot of people bought it and therefore did not play Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it got really good reviews. This remake did on Switch. So we're going to take a look at both reviews for these games, and I'm going to decide which one I want to buy day one. Let's get into it. All right, so starting off with Assassin's Creed Shadows, this got overall an 81 on Metacritic for the PS5 version, which is good. 8 out of 10 and above, that's great. That's a B and above, right, for a game. So after all of the nonsense online and arguing and slander of this game before it even comes out, you know, and it got delayed 2 times, it comes out and it's good. All right, so let's see what people said about it. Starting with the top review, a 100 from VG247. There are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure, but it's so fun to play. I'm surprised they admitted there were some problems and still gave it a 100. Usually you save the 100 perfect score for a game you can't find any problems with, but whatever. Games Hub 90. At the end of the day, it's about killing, but here death and beauty are linked. Very nice. VG Games, an 85. So these are all the above average scores. I can't answer the big question whether Shadows will restore Ubisoft's lost fan love, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. Yeah, it sounds like it, actually. IGN France gave it an 80. Everyone's saying it's not, you know, gonna reinvent the wheel of Assassin's Creed like they did going into Origins. This is still that era of like RPG like Assassin's Creed, so that's fine. It's apparently a really good game, clean, not a lot of bugs. So what happens with Ubisoft games, usually it'll come out and within a year it will get a sale, and Ubisoft games end up being pretty cheap after a little while. So I'm going to keep that in mind when making my decision. But I've loved the Assassin's Creed franchise since, you know, the first Assassin's Creed I played on my Xbox 360. And I think 2 was my favorite. And then I actually really liked 3. No one talks about 3, but I enjoyed that one with like the Native American kid. That was a cool Assassin's Creed game. But Black Flag I liked. I didn't beat it, but I liked it. Everyone thinks it's the best one. Anyway, Assassin's Creed has always been like a huge franchise in gaming the last 20 years. So, you know, I like to see that they're still going, and this game looks pretty decent. So we'll see if I'll pick it up. So moving to the next review, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Look at that score overall, an 88. That's huge. And this is a remake. Okay, so the Xenoblade Chronicles series, I didn't get into this series until a few years ago just because the name was so cringe. I just don't like that title for the game series, Xenoblade Chronicles. But whatever, I got over it, and I found out that the music and the soundtrack in these games is like S tier. It's the guy who did Chrono Trigger. You know, I think his name's Yasunori Mitsuda, I believe. He is a legend in video game music, and he does the music to this series. I'm not 100% certain he did the music to this Xenoblade game, but I'm pretty sure he did. Everyone's saying the soundtrack is amazing, so it's got to be him. And, you know, I played 3 all the way through, and I like cried at the end. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was amazing, so I've since gotten over the cringe of the name of the series, and I've gotten into the games, and I really enjoy them, so I am super excited for this. But let's see what other people said about it. A 100 from player 2. There were hardly any faults in the Xenoblade Chronicles X experience, but the definitive edition elevates the game, or in the original experience, and then the definitive edition makes it even better. Monolith Soft's finest work. It's cool to hear Monolith Soft actually worked on this remake and didn't like relegate it to a smaller studio within their company or something, you know, which teams usually do for remakes, and then the remake ends up being bad because the main team was working on something else. But it sounds like they really put time into this game. 93 from Hobby Consolas. If it was already a special game on Wii U, now thanks to all the changes, new features, and above all the epilogue, which is like the DLC, new DLC you just play right at the end of the game. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition is one of the best JRPGs on the Switch. That is sick. I've been playing a ton of RPGs lately, JRPGs, in the last like year or two, and I'm super excited to have another just like top class RPG on the Switch. And I think this completes the cycle. This completes the collection of Xenoblade Chronicles games on the Switch. You can play every single one now, like the mainline games at least, and I think they're all here on the Switch. So that's exciting. If you're a huge Xenoblade fan, I'm getting there. I'm getting bigger, and I think this one's gonna do it. The mech gameplay and like outer space setting looks really badass. It's different from 2 especially, and 3. So I'm super excited. I like how each game has a completely different story, kind of like Final Fantasy, you know? It's like Nintendo's Final Fantasy, this series, so it's pretty epic. And now I have to make a decision about which game I want to buy. So it's gonna be close, but I think you guys know what it's gonna be. Come on. It is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm gonna buy that because I can take it with me to Florida on my Switch, you know? Can't take the PlayStation or the PC version of AC Shadows with me. So with all that being said, these 2 games coming out on the same day is exciting for gamers. They both turned out to be really good. 8 out of 10 and above, 80 out of 100, you know, and higher, with Xenoblade almost getting a 90. So AC Shadows, it'll go on sale. I'll pick it up maybe Black Friday, something like that. You know, it looks really good, and I love samurai settings, right? I love Ghost of Tsushima and Sekiro and stuff like that. So this game I'll definitely play in my future, and I'm glad it turned out to be pretty good at launch. So what did you guys think? Which game are you guys gonna buy? Or are you gonna wait for both, or you don't care about either one? Right now, you know, games are coming out in February and March, and it's pretty exciting. So let me know what you guys choose. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you after my vacation. Peace.